Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hassam Siddiqui, well done. Good job. All the speakers have spoken so nicely, talked about all the elements of Kashmir problems and whatever is happening over there. Fantastic. I'm impressed and very happy of it. But while I was sitting over there, I was thinking aloud in my mind. I'm looking for people who have been talking in 2010 and 2011 about Aman ki Asha. You remember that? I used to tell them, look, it is not going to happen. Aapki koi dosti nahi honi. They're going to kick you on your back and you will not know where you've landed. I'm still looking for those people. If you find somebody, tell them that you met Admiral Haroon and he told you this thing. A particular newspaper in Pakistan, I told that chap, I think it is written in New Delhi and published in Pakistan. So he didn't like it also. So he wants to talk against me. So some of his writers, they started writing against me. Anyway, I don't have anything to say on Kashmir, but I'll just point out a few things that need to be taken care of. Remember one thing, the cross of the Christ was being taken out from Palestine, Tel Aviv, that was the port at that particular time, somewhere in 1091. And the laborers, while pulling the ropes, they mishandled it and the cross broke. And it broke and it could not be repaired because it had been eaten by moth and termites and all that. You may be knowing whatever I am saying. And the Pope in Vatican came to know about it and he gave a huge sermon which is available in various books. And they started off with a thing known as crusades. So the crusaders came about a year or 2 years later, about 1092, and they took over Palestine and all the area around that. The king of Palestine didn't know what is happening and he was probably sleeping and enjoying himself, whatever. And then the Muslims got up and started, saying that we have got to do something. This is our holy land and we better remove the crusaders from here. So many years down the line, a person by the name of Salahuddin Ayyubi rose, and he was a military man, he was a diplomat, he was a statesman, he was a diplomat, he was everything. And he used to take good wine, must remember this thing. And he did everything. He made compromises with Christians, with Shias, with a number, host of other people who used to talk against it. But he continued his efforts and worked for about 12 to 15 years, and every house was made to make arrows and all that, and swords. And in 1192, he conquered, got back the Palestine. And don't forget that the moment he got off, his uncle sold Palestine back to the Vaticans. So that is where the Crusaders ended. Crusades ended and recovered. These things are very important. I am not giving this from my own this thing. This is from the books that I have read. So remember, you want to do something, you have to be very, very careful, and you have to take your population along with this. Another part of the story is the champions of democracy, champions of humanism, and all that rhetoric that you hear, they all emanate from Europe, from America, from India. They all tell lies anytime. I have seen them, the biggest, the highest, in the, whatever generals that I have interacted in all these three places, they all told lies. I met Colin Powell a long time ago, and I told him, "You've told a lie in the United Nations." He looked at me and he said, "Yes, Haroon, you're right. He told a lie in the United Nations about Iraq, about the WMDs. Be very, very careful. They make small little compromises and then they tell you by words that, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, and they don't do anything. We don't forget that part of the story. In India, the Indians have completely marginalized Muslims. And you know why. It is a complete marginalization, and if you think it is not so, you go and talk to a Hindu, he will always tell you ahimsa and a lot of peaceful things. Don't trust him. Be very careful. Trust only your nation, nobody else. All protocols between India and Pakistan, Captain Saab will agree with me, all protocols were for peace, for improvement of relations between India and Pakistan, were first made in Pakistan, written in Pakistan and edited in Pakistan. And then we would send it across to New Delhi, and they would make their improvement according to their wishes, and then some or the other, if it benefited us, we signed them. It starts from the Kashmir thing, it started from the Indus River, all that, and then a number of peaceful things that have happened. I was in New Delhi in 1989 when all the atrocities were taking place, and I interacted with none other than General Rodericks, who was the Chief of Army Staff in the Indian Army. And he would always tell, "Haroon, yaar, why don't you people join us?" I would say, "मैं क्या करूँगा?" I would tell him, "मैं क्या करूँगा इधर आके? मैं उधर बड़ा खुश हूँ." That is the truth. To rise, to go up in your business, you have to have a Hindu mother, a Hindu wife, or a Hindu whatever, and you have to have your daughters married to a Hindu, whatever, I am not against Hindus, but the mentality is problematic. Another part of the story is, you sit down on any channel in Pakistan and listen. One party, another party, the third party, the PDM, the PTI, this, fighting against each other, making allegations, and nothing else. You don't know what happened in Venezuela. You don't know what is happening in Palestine. You don't know what is happening in the Suez Canal. The problems over there. Nobody knows. Nobody is bothered about it. And our media does not want to say it, does not want to speak about it. They don't want to speak. Group Captain Hali had a program going on the television, on PTV, on international affairs and all that. It was banned by a political party, and since then I have not seen a program like that on any television channel, talking about Syrian problem, talking about Yemen problem, talking about what is happening in Bahrain, or how Iranians are moving, how the Afghans are doing anything. No, but we are not even bothered. Just don't care about it. So, if we want to remain ignorant, atrocities will happen. And then a very interesting episode that when I was there as the Defense Attaché and Naval Attaché in Delhi, I used to interact with the senior hierarchy, the political as well as the military, and they were always very fond of coming and discussing things. And New Delhi is a very vibrant place where diplomats have been, they're very active over there. Almost every day there were 2 functions going on, and it was just too much to handle. And when I was leaving, so there was this party, not many people attending, and I gave a statement over there. And before I give you what statement I gave, I must tell you, what is ISI? I hope you know what is ISI. Anybody? What is ISI? Say again? Inter-Services Intelligence? No. It is India's Standards Institute. Indian Standards Institute. It is ISI. Not this ISI that you have near Appara. That's another one. I hope you know what is RAW. I hope you know what is RAW. Research and Analysis Wing of the Indian. So when I was leaving, I mentioned to them that, look, when I came over here in New Delhi, my neighbor was very fond. He wanted to come and discuss things with me. And he and his wife were telling my wife that, look, whenever you buy something over here, you must make sure that there is an ISI stamp on it. So if you want to buy, some crockery, some cutlery, some machines, something to do with whatever, it must have ISI mark on it. And I told him, otherwise you will go for a raw deal. So that is what it is. I must tell you this thing. Be very careful. Must have ISI stamp on anything that you buy in New Delhi. There are many solutions. Many solutions to the Kashmir problems. I have had the privilege of going for this second track diplomacy, and the diplomacy over there and over here and meeting people and all that. Come to the conclusion. The only solution is, because they are not going to agree with you on anything, the only solution is war. I'm a military man. You will say that he is a military man, he wants to propagate his. The only way is war. And don't forget, I have told you, Salahuddin Ayyubi, he prepared. Don't be chickens. Thank you very much. You putting this on tweet. I have been putting tweets against what is happening in Palestine as well as in Kashmir and in India. The best part of the story was that the Indians used to reply me and abuse me. The Indians. And I used to tell the jokers in our universities, please, don't get angry with me. कि यार इसको जवाब दो तुम ओ सर जी असी की करना सो असी की करना तो करो फिर बैठे रहो फिर इधर ही रहे remember the only solution is what Salahuddin Ayyubi did, prepare and the only solution is war, confrontation, आप जो मर्जी करते रहो, जितना मर्जी करो, कुछ नहीं होने लगा. This telephone belongs to somebody.